Hi, this is Tyler Shumsky, and I'm going to tell you why America should adopt stricter gun laws. So let's go over a brief history of firearm laws to start. So the first gun laws date back to the Revolutionary times, late 1700s, when white men were forced to own a gun since they could be called to fight in the militia at any time. The actual first gun law restriction came after the attempted assassination of New York City Mayor William J. Gaynor in 1910. This brought laws that restricted guns that were popular in mob use. And then other laws were put into place after the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy and civil rights activist Martin Luther King Jr. So, why this issue has been brought into the spotlight today is because of recent public shootings at schools and other areas. There are two sides to this argument with very little middle ground, so people don't agree on the issue at all. So people who believe in gun restriction believe that limiting the amount of guns on the streets would get rid of public shootings and that it would stop the attacks before we can start. So since a lot of people that own a firearm aren't trained or don't use it regularly, they aren't very skilled in that area. And so if they were to happen to fire a gun, there is a good chance that they would miss the criminal and potentially hit another civilian. So people who are against gun restriction, meaning that they want more guns on the streets, believe that giving people firearms will give them protection they need from criminals and other attackers, meaning that if they were robbed or if, say, like a teacher owned a gun and was able to bring it to school and the school shooter came, he could protect his students and the rest of the school with it. So my personal opinion, I believe restricting gun laws is the right path to go down because putting an increased number of firearms on the street in order to stop public shootings just isn't like a logical response. Putting more guns on the street is going to increase the use of guns, not decrease it, which is going to increase the amount of casualties, not decrease it. So I believe gun laws should be restricted because here's a couple of statistics that support my argument. So American children who are under the age of 15 were 9 times more likely to die of a gun accident than children in other advanced wealthy countries. So countries such as China, Britain, Italy, that have very similar economies and social lifestyles are much more safer. Their children are a lot more safer than me, you, and anyone else who may be hearing this. And then the second statistic that I have is that it sort of puts down the argument that guns are needed to protect themselves, since of the 29,618,300 violent crimes committed in America between 2007 and 2011, less than 1% of victims protected themselves by firing a gun, which means that the victims owned a gun or they didn't own a gun, but many who owned a gun didn't use it when they had a chance to, meaning that they didn't felt the need to use it to protect themselves. So in conclusion, I think we can all agree on that America can no longer stand still with their hands behind their backs, and that we have to act now, or more children, more of our family members are just gonna die. Nope, that's it. Thank you for listening.